afternoon and welcome to What in the Hell Am I Doing Wrong? I am your host, Jameelah B. And today I've decided to take a different path today. Usually my show is geared around relationships and life and different things like that. But today my focus is on women entrepreneurs. I couldn't let the month of May go, excuse me, not May, March go out without honoring women and their great contributions in their areas of business. So without further ado, I want to let you all know I have a panel of phenomenal ladies who are on today, and I will give you just a little bit of an overview of each person that we'll be talking to, and then we'll get into the show. So first, I'm going to start with Miss Tone Brown. She is an American film producer, director, editor, screenplay writer, and novelist. She is best known for her feature films such as Kitchen Talk, Pink Baby Doll, Rough Patch, Twisted Fate, and short film projects as independent filmmaker films streaming on Amazon Prime and Netflix. She also has done some Dorito commercials for Super Bowl 2015 and 16. She's currently working on some novels that will be turned into screenplays as well, into film. And she won the 2017 Howard Directors Award for her film Bereaved Heart. So that's Miss Tone Brown, and I'm glad that she agreed to be on today. I because as many people know, I am a film person. So anytime I see a woman in film who's doing her thing and making her own way, it is just fascinating and inspiring to me. So I introduce to you all Tone Brown. So let me go down my panel of folks. Next, I have Miss Cheryl Ellis. She's the director at the Academy of Aesthetics and Nails, and she started her career as a hairstylist and salon owner. And her passion is teaching others to do nails and aesthetics and hair and different things like that. She's in the Gainesville, Ocala, Florida area. And I came to know Cheryl who's doing her thing and making her own way. I'm getting some feedback. So if you have your YouTube on, you might want to, if you have it on YouTube, you might want to come off of it or turn your audio down or something like that. So pretty much I came to know Cheryl through my twin sister. When she was living in Gainesville, she met Cheryl, and Cheryl was her hairstylist, and they became very good friends. So it's a pleasure to have Cheryl on the show today as well. So I'm going to go to the top. I see Christy Young. Christy Young is the CEO of Pleats Miami. So many of you probably know or have seen her fashions across YouTube. I know I'm not YouTube, but Facebook. Christy is very talented. I came to know Christy in 9th grade at Miami Carroll City Senior High School. So we go way back. Christy's mom used to make clothes, and she was a fashion designer, and she did all these unique things. And Christy was just as talented as her mom. So over the years, I've seen Christy's business just, blossom into something so big. Like, during prom time, I see some of her gowns that could be on red carpets in the Grammys or the Oscars or things like that. So it is a pleasure and an honor to have Christy on with me today. And we'll get more into her company, and she'll tell you all more about how to get in touch with her about getting some clothes made. I would like to also introduce to you Dr. Lucretia Andrews. She's the co-owner of Peaceway Counseling and Mediation Services in Valdosta, Georgia, with her husband. And I came to know Dr. Andrews many years ago as well. We met through my domestic violence work. They have a family violence intervention program component to their business, and we met at a training. And she's also my sorority sister, and we just had a bond ever since then. And she's also a counselor at Valdosta State University, so she's doing great things in the area of mental health. So it's a pleasure to have her on the show as well. I will go to Miss Ursilia Eugene. She is another one of my friends I met in high school at Miami Carroll City Senior High. She was also in the pre-law magnet program with Christy and I. And I knew her back then, but we didn't really become really close until she relocated to Atlanta. And at the time, I was doing hair, and she saw one of my posts about getting hair done. So she contacted me to do her hair, and she has now become one of our ride or dies in our little clique. It's a small clique of us, but we hang real tight. And she has a company, Eden Aromatics, and they have candles and body oils and scrubs and all that. And she'll give me stuff to test out before she puts it out on the market. And I do not complain because I love freebies. So it's a pleasure to have Miss Eugene on today. And Miss Shanika Brown, I would say I've known Shanika ever since the first grade.
Yes.
So I've known Shanika almost my entire life, and I'm actually her daughter's godmother. So her daughter is the only goddaughter that I have. I have two godsons, but her daughter is my goddaughter. And Shanika is a nurse, and she owns her own assisted living facility in what is it, Quincy, Midway, Florida, right? And she's always had like a giving heart of service and wanting to help. I mean, she can do anything medical. Like she'll be like, "Oh, I'll go and clean somebody up, and I'll go and have lunch." And I'm like, "How can you eat after doing this kind of stuff?" I can't do it because I'm real squeamish. But Shanika and I go way back. We're more like family. And a little note on Shanika: well, growing up, my mom was like really overprotective of us. Like we couldn't spend the night at anybody's house. Don't even ask to spend the night at anybody's house. But Shanika's grandmother and my mom were really good friends. So that's the only place we could spend the night. It was with Miss Isabel because my mom knew that she would treat us as if we were her own. So again, I want to thank you ladies for being here. I just lost Urcelia. Hopefully she'll come back. So we'll get right into it. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and like this video. And I'm just going to get into the interview right now with these ladies. So hello, ladies. Thank you all for being here again.
Hello.
I feel so honored and
Hello.
blessed to have such a group of phenomenal women here. So I will get started, and you all feel free to jump in at any time. If you all could give me a little bit about what inspired you to go into your chosen field. I guess we can start with Dr. Andrew.
Okay, thank you. I would say my husband and I have been married for 22 years, and I think we both inspired each other to want to go into the field when we met in college in 1993. And we were going through school and we were thinking about, how can we have a business where we are giving back to the people, helping people, because we both wanted to serve other people and help them in areas that were meaningful. We both served in capacities where we were already in social services. He was a probation officer and I worked for the Department of Family and Children's Services at that time. And so we were trying to think about another way that we can actually give back holistically to individuals. And so that's how we decided to do the mental health counseling. And so we went back to school and got our master's degrees, and then later on became licensed as marriage and family therapist, and were able to help people the way that we felt necessary.
Awesome. And I know for a fact that their services are impeccable. And I've heard her speak about self-care and different things like that. And especially as Black women, we talk about mental health or going to counseling. It's not always celebrated. So I think that that's a good thing that we see more Black people going into the field and encouraging people to be going to counseling. So I'm going to go over to Miss Tone Brown.
What inspired me to start? I started because I wanted independence. I'm a hard worker and I have grind for years for someone else in my educated field of accounting. I decided I wanted to grind for myself, and in that process, I found my personal dream, which turned into filming. I first just wrote a novel, then that novel through one of my book club fans was like, well, we would love to see the characters be on a film. So that kind of took me in the area of film because I wanted to figure out how to get it on film. And I didn't have millions of dollars to do it through the industry. So I had to figure out how to do it on my own. And I find doing it for myself put life in perspective, and what I found to be my true value to myself, to learn how to really value who I am and who God created me to be.
Absolutely. And I kind of share those sentiments because, I've always loved film. I've always loved writing and different things like that. And I'm in definitely a different profession than what is my passion. So I totally get what you're saying about being an accountant and then saying, you know what, I want to do my own thing. So I can certainly appreciate that. Okay, Miss Young.
What inspired me is
the fact that my mom, as Jameelah mentioned earlier, my mom is a retired fashion designer and pattern maker. She's done every craft you can think of: cross stitch, crochet, upholstery, drapery, floral design. She's done everything you can think of, and she always had me and my sisters, and even my cousins, my brothers. She always had us put a hand in on those things. So we're very crafty. But like Miss Tone said, after putting in sweat and tears into somebody else's business, I just decided that I didn't want to work in corporate America anymore. God blessed me with many talents, so I just took that leap of faith and I started sewing. Um, and it was overwhelming in the beginning because I didn't know that many people actually loved what I did 15 years prior. Because I took a 15-year break with the sewing. And ever since then, it's like God's been showing me that He has me and that I can do anything that I put my mind to. It came back to me like second nature. So, I mean, I just love being able to provide things for custom things for women that makes them feel good about themselves, regardless of, your physical appearance. It's just my passion.
Absolutely. And I'm going to show you a few of her fashions. Christy has made me Christmas ornaments that I still use to this day. When I did my premiere of my web series, the skirt she made for me, I told her earlier before we got started that I had to gift that to somebody because I lost weight, so I can't wear it anymore. But she made me this skirt, and I loved it. I mean, I had her she sent it all the way up here to me to Georgia, and I was so thankful to get it. But Christy is in high demand. These are some of her fashions.
Very pretty.
These are phenomenal. These are the skirts that really got her popular because everybody was like, I want one of those skirts. I want one of those skirts. I mean, my sister has gotten stuff made by her. I'm going to get my mom one made for her because my mom loves like the African, the long skirts. So I'm going to get one made. And I even saw like when Christy was for the prom, she had to tell people, please get your stuff in at a certain time because I'm booked. I'm solid. So she's been doing great things. I'm so proud of her because she's so talented. And anybody that can make stuff like that, that's just amazing to me. So
you need to make my Oscar dress.
I'm ready.
Come on now, talk to me, girl. Let's make it happen.
Yes. I mean, it's like if she makes it to fit you perfectly. So it's like, I mean, I didn't even have to do anything to it. And I was like, oh God, I'm gonna have to get the dress sent from Miami to Atlanta. It fit me perfect. So, and my sister has one too that she did for her that fit her perfectly. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. So what'd you say, Christy?
I said Shanika as well.
Yeah, she made a skirt for Shanika too. Yeah, she sure did. She did. So, I mean, if you all want some, and her website is scrolling at the bottom. Please, Miami, check her out, please, because her stuff is really, really nice.
Wow.
Yes, I'm going to move to Miss Cheryl Ellis. Like I said before, Cheryl is the owner of a cosmetology school, and she also was a hair salon owner. And I know, I used to do hair. I'm a licensed cosmetologist as well, and I know a lot of the struggles that go along with that. But could you just give me a little bit of information how you got started and what prompted you to do this?
Okay, I got started junior high school, 11th grade, 12th grade. This was something just to go through Bethune-Cookman College at the time. This was going to help my mom with my sister and myself in school. And I just continued to do this even after school. So that's pretty much what it is. And I love doing hair, not kind of, but I love doing hair. But the school was just something different that I wanted to try. The school is something I felt that Ocala needed, not Gainesville, Ocala needs for minority women. So that's why I chose Ocala. But like I said, hair was just something for high school. While I was in high school, and I just continued to go through doing hair all through life and all through college. So that's where that came in. So it's just an extra income. That's it.
Absolutely, and I totally know about that because I did hair. I was a dorm room beautician as well, but I went back later in life, got my cosmetology license, even though I don't really do it anymore, but I'm still licensed because you never know what might happen. So.
Right, that's true. That's true. So I mean, it's just there. I keep saying to myself, I'm going to leave the hair business. I am going to leave the hair business, even though I work children and family, child support. I will go on my lunch break and do hair. That's I would do. But that's something that I need to get away from, is just doing hair. So the school is just something that I'm trying to, let me put it this way. I'm 56 years old, and 10 years from now, I would like to retire at
Yes,
50.
ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's why this business should be what I want, and just to help the students,
Absolutely.
next generation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Shanika, and like I can say, Shanika has always been like that caring type person. So nursing was like second nature to her. I mean, it was just like, I can do this with my eyes closed. And we have a friend who's a quadriplegic, and when he would come to Miami, Shanika would definitely just come. We said we need somebody to help with him, and Shanika would just come over and do what she had to do, no questions asked. So take it away, Shanika. What inspired you to go into nursing and opening your ALF?
Yes. Okay, so what inspired me was, like Jameelah said before, my grandmother, Miss Isabel, which was my mother. She raised me from a 6-month-old baby. I watched her during her cancer, like, suffer, and I was like maybe 10 years old, and she was in and out the hospital in a coma, and I was just distraught. So I was trying to help her as much as I could, and then to see her pass away was like, I felt like helpless. So I made it my business to say, I want to be a nurse because I want to help people and at their lowest, at their worst, in their time of need. And then so I went to nursing school. I became an LPN for like 15 years. I worked as an LPN, and then I got my RN license. So I was kind of like Tone said, I think I was just too valuable to be working for, other people. And I was like, I don't like the way they treat the residents. I was always upset, and I couldn't take care of everyone. So I said, well, I'm going to take this a step further, and I'm going to open assistant living facility. Let me see, how this works out. So I have a assistant living facility. It's just 5-bed facility. It's New Mercy's Care, assistant living, and I have a standard license and a mental health licensing. And I do have a lot of family members, like Jameelah said previously, that don't acknowledge mental health and think it's like a illness that shuns Black people. Not even Black people, but Black people don't get the help like they supposed to. So I just had a heart. I worked at some mental health facilities through an agency, and I was like, hey, you know, I can get to these people. Like, I don't care. They can be angry, they can be upset. I mean, the worst ones would cling to me. So I said, well, I think this is what I want to do. I want to also accept mental health residents so I can, you know, help them out and allow them to live better in the community. Because like I said before, a lot of people doesn't like, don't like dealing with mental health. Um, excuse me, people in the community. They mostly shun them as well.
Yeah.
So, I get them and I, teach them. I take them shopping and we go out to eat. And, I just tell them, and most of them, believe it or not, they're very nervous because they think somebody's going to do something to them or make them feel bad. And I'm like, no, you're with me. I'm cool. You're going to be cool. And then, we start communicating with the people when they pretty much learned how to live in community with no issues, and they love it. They love going out, they love going shopping. They are asking me, when we gonna go here around, when we gonna do that. So right now, with that business, I feel very valued because I am making a difference in somebody's life and being the helpless. So like Miss Tone said before, I work my butt off. Sometimes I don't even sleep because I still do nurse. Right now I'm doing traveling nursing, and I enjoy the traveling nursing because I get to meet all different kinds of people, ethnicity and all kind of cultures, and learn other people. So that what really inspired me as far as going into being a business owner, and trying to be independent as possible.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad you're back with us, Miss Eugene, Ursilia Eugene. Can you hear me, Ursilia? Or am I muted?
I
Can you
think
hear me?
Rosa. Oh, uh,
I can't hear you, Ursilia. You're muted. Unmute yourself. You can't. Can you unmute yourself? Okay. Well, I will show you all in the interim some of her products, her body butters. Like I said, when she comes out with new things like scrubs and stuff, she'll ask me to sample them, and I enjoy them. These are some of her soaps. I've gifted a few of her candles for the holidays, and she also has like wood earrings. They're very nice and beautiful. So I just can you hear me now, Arcelia? And if you're interested in her products, her company is Eden Aromatics.
eating areas.
Okay. I'm not sure. You can't unmute. Okay. Well, we'll come back to you. So just pretty much as women, women business owners, I think in general in the workplace, women encounter a lot of different obstacles that men may not encounter, in the workforce. But being entrepreneurs, what are some of the struggles that you encountered trying to get your business going? And I guess we could start. I could start with Dr. Andrews, and I know you're the co-owner of your business.
Mhm. Yes, some of the problems we had were primarily with competitors. And imagine that, because I feel like, everybody can have a place. There's enough work out there for everybody to do well and succeed. So we had a lot of issues with competitors. They would call organizations that we were trying to receive certifications with and tell lies, just blatant lies. And we would have to pretty much fight against that, to show pretty much that we were licensed and certified and were able to do the work. And sometimes it's the good old boy system where you have someone new coming in, and then you have a agency that's Black owned coming into existence. And so that was the issue too with some of the referral sources.
Yeah, you all are in South Georgia, so I can only imagine. I'm in the Metro Atlanta area where we see it, but we don't see it as much. But in South Georgia, it's very prevalent. The racism and all of that stuff that you may encounter. So, what about you, Christy? What barriers or struggles have you, or challenges you encountered when starting your business?
Pretty much working in corporate America and leaving, the biggest struggle I found was, just self-doubt, taking that leap of faith and, wondering if I'm going to be able to be successful to provide for my family. And, a lot of times, being that there are so many self-proclaimed designers, even though I haven't gone to school, I was taught from a child my skill. And taught by my mom, who not only did she do fashion design, she also did tailoring. And I mean, my mom had a lot of celebrity clientele. So I was taught by one of the best. A lot of people, when I first thought about sewing again, I put a post up on Facebook and I was like, I'm wondering if I should start back sewing. And the amount of responses that I got back, positive feedback, it was overwhelming. And till this day, people call her the GOAT. I can go in some of the fabric stores that have been around for years. since she was still sewing, and they still know my mom. So it was just a challenge, like even doubting myself if I'm going to be able to carry on her legacy and fill her shoes. That's one of the biggest things, because I mean, my mom, Jameelah can testify to it. My mom, she's the bomb.
Yes, she is.
Her picture, and when I tell you, your garment is either going to come out looking just like the picture or better than the picture. So it's like some big shoes that I really have to fill. So it was that leap of faith, that self-doubt, even though a lot of people believed in me and they knew that I can, make the garments that they were asking me. I didn't have the confidence to actually fulfill what people were asking me, even though I was, actually making the requests that they had. My confidence still wasn't there. And it wasn't until recently, this pandemic, a lot of people look at it as it was something bad for us, but it was a time that God just told us, be still.
Yeah.
I got a lot of time to just think, and I was able to, start back tapping into the designing aspect of it. In April, I will be releasing my first ready-to-wear line that I'm very proud of. My sister-in-law and I, we have spent numerous hours. We put in so much time in this line that, I think that everybody is going to be taken away when they see it. And I'm not just saying it because it's something that we created, but it's going to set the tone. And we're putting in a lot of work behind it. But again, just that self-doubt, that's one of the biggest things for me.
Yeah.
I just feel like, a lot of people struggle with that. When you look on social media, nobody's being transparent and really telling you, the things that they're going through that is pretty much just holding them back from actually being successful. Everybody makes it look like it's so easy.
Yes.
When you're an entrepreneur, you have to work 10 times harder than if you're working for someone else. And I would rather work 10, 20 times harder in my business to build my brand, to build a legacy, something that I could leave for my kids, than to put that time into somebody else's business. So, that's pretty much the biggest challenge that I faced, was self-doubt.
And it's funny, my sister, she just posted, she has a dress that Miss Young, your mom, made for her in 1997. She can't fit it, but she refused to let it go. And I was trying to look for my old photo album from high school. Christy, 2 years in a row, Christy had these knockout prom dresses that her mom made for her. And I wanted to show it today, but I can't find it. It's in the garage somewhere. But all I can say is, Christy came from good stock. Her mom was so talented. And when Christy started doing it, I was like, it was just natural, so that's just great. But I'm glad you brought up the self-doubt and the transparency, because social media have people believing everything is just so gravy and good. And when you talk about self-doubt, as creative people, we always have self-doubt, because we always feel like what we're creating may not be as good, and we are sensitive about what we create. And that's why I'm going to go to Miss Toné Brown, because she's in the field, she's in film, she's a screenwriter, and that's a passion of mine deeply. And I've struggled with, a lot of my creative aspirations, because, I've gotten some harsh feedback, but I think it's helped me move forward. You live and you learn, and being a creative person, you're not going to please everybody. The movies you make aren't going to be what everybody wants to see, but you can't allow that to deter you. So moving into your story, I know as a film director in a male-dominated environment, because we rarely see women in film, and unless they're actresses. So I think it was like Penny Marshall. We're seeing more now, like Ava DuVernay, and like Issa Rae. All these people are emerging, but previously it wasn't many. So what are some struggles that you faced along the way?
Well, the first thing I want to address is we are out there. It's just that we're just not as visible as men. They just don't promote us or talk about us. But a good majority of most of the projects that you see, whether film, TV shows, those are women doing it. It's just they're not putting their name out there or talking about it. And just like pretty much anything, they're always willing to take your credit. But not help you. But my challenge was making sure I had the right people around me for the path I felt God had me on. Many are ready to jump on the train when it's sitting still, but when it begins to move, people start jumping off, and you don't know who you can really count on, depend on. So actually, I just really did a lot by myself at the beginning. I learned every aspect, whether it was the camera, the lighting, the sound, whatever it needed to put it together. A lot of times the actors were shocked when they arrived and it was just me. And what I did is I got the equipment, but I arranged my equipment to where I could be a one-woman show. So that way I didn't, I would have crew come on, but sometimes they wouldn't show up, or sometimes they'll come on like they're the boss trying to tell me what my vision was, and I ain't having none of that. But I find that star people are serious. I just need to find serious people that were dreamers like myself, willing to take the path together in a union to stay on the same dream. I was just really surprised on how quick people were always willing to quit, and they were not really ready to work. And coming through the field that I've come from, detailitis is part of me. So I always have my hands in the pot, all the pots. And some people don't like you in they pot, but I'm going to stare it if you're on my set.
Exactly. Daryl Moore would like your contact info. Daryl, I will put her website. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now so you can get that and we can talk later. So, yes. And I can tell you, yes, do you know Daryl?
I do not, but I want to thank him anyway.
Yeah, he has 45 films. He's also a filmmaker and actor as well. So yeah, he's definitely in the industry. So and he was in Metro Atlanta for a while. He's no longer here, but he's still in field. But yeah, that was me. I learned how to edit. I learned how to do lighting. I learned how to do sound, because you want to be in the event, especially when you're on low budget productions. You're kind of dependent and at the mercy of certain people. And I was blessed that I came in contact with a gentleman named Justin Cutts. He was my DP, and a young lady named Brandy. They were dependable for me. They were always there. They helped me. So I learned a lot from them. But I also said, okay, I don't ever want to be in a situation where I'm stuck and I can't do my production that day. So I bought my own equipment and I learned, everything that I needed to learn. So
I'm a big believer. And I'm a big believer. I don't cancel or change the schedule just because it didn't work out for you.
Exactly.
So I wanted to make sure if I scheduled it, because I wanted to value the time of the actors, because they graciously shared their gift. So and I know how I feel. So I'm like, ain't nothing worse for them to show up and then I'm not orderly. Yeah. So I knew in order for me to be orderly, for me to get a true production, not only started but to the end of completion, I needed to know everything. So yeah, I edit, and I one woman show. Yeah. I was like, God, go ahead. I release my angels. Angels, get to work. You ain't got no cobwebs no more.
But I can totally relate to that, because I did that. I was like, I don't want to ever, because it happened to me once where I was like, we were on set. Thank God I had a small crew of actors that particular night. But it was embarrassing. So you never want to be left out there like that. You want to always be prepared. So I'm glad Miss Mina Johnson joined us. Thank you. I'm gonna get to you in a minute, Mina, from Elegant Occasions Event Center, and she also has Ground Zero. Is it business consulting, Mina? Ground Zero. Okay, so I'm gonna get her to talk about that in a minute. But I'm gonna move over to Miss Cheryl Ellis. Cheryl is in the hair industry. She owns her own cosmetology school as well. She's a hair salon owner. And doing hair is a lot of challenges. I will say that you have challenges with customers, just with the business in general. And that's one reason why I'm really not doing it like I used to, because of the experiences that I had with some of the customers, and just the industry in itself. I think YouTube is a great benefit to us, but it's also hindered the industry as well. So if you could just give me a few of your challenges, in that particular field.
Okay, well, let me kind of move away from hair, because I'm only in the salon part-time, very part-time. So that's not my challenge. My challenge was with the school. because as a Black female going to somebody else who owns a building and I want to buy this building, that was my challenge in 19. My school should have been up and running, but COVID hit. So I'll take it back. But my challenge was because I'm a Black woman coming in and I want to buy this building, even though I have a partner. And we were told no at first, that we could not buy the building. Someone else came, different color. Yeah, she offered more. They're saying, well, she wants this. Well, then I can walk away from that. That's the challenge that Black women have. When we're Black and we're trying to buy something from somebody white, it does not work always. So that was my biggest challenge. It was trying to get the building itself. But God saw fit that, hey, I'm going to give you this building. And so God gave us the building. That's my challenge. My challenge, I don't have a challenge with my customers when I'm doing hair full time. I can tell them, hey, goodbye. I'm as real as it come. I can tell you goodbye. Hey, there's the no. So that's not my challenge with my clients. That's just not. But as a business owner trying to get the right building for yourself, that's my challenge, was that building. And so, like I said, I thank God that I was able to get the building and we're up and running. But no, a client does not bother me. Trust me.
Oh, you lucky, because they used to bother me, and I just had to say at one point I was like, you know what? It was even prior to COVID. Like, it was funny. Right before COVID, I had sent my I think it was that February or January. I sent all my clients a text, and I said, you know, beginning March, blah blah blah, I will no longer be doing hair. You know, and one client, she refuses to leave me alone. I love her to death. She's like, I don't want nobody else touching my hair, but she's good though. She's cool. I don't mind her, but some of the other ones, I'm okay.
I have some of those too, but what I say is what I say. Like this morning, my client asked me, "Hey, can you do me? I'm leaving for Tampa." Okay, yesterday we confirmed 7:30. Be
Mm,
there at 7:30. She texted me, what, 20 minutes? I'm on the way. No, ma'am, you're not on the way.
yeah, respect goes both ways. I posted something the other
Yes,
day about, a disrespectful client. And there's some trash hairstylists too that don't respect people's time and
right,
their business. But I was one of those stylists that if you had an appointment at 6 o'clock, I was going to do your hair at 6 o'clock. Now, if I went a little bit over, I always let you know. I always make sure I
right.
get communication. I didn't just have you waiting on me, because that's rude. But then you have some clients, and that's a story for another day. But
It is. It
it
is. So
was a lot. It was a lot. And,
it is. So, but that's my challenge. My challenge was in end of, I think I signed for the building July of 19. The
mhm.
building was supposed to be ready December of 19, and it just went on and on and on. So I didn't get in a building until August of 20
Oh wow.
with the building. So that was my challenge, August of 2020.
Mhm.
Even though we were closed half of the year, but August 20, that was my biggest challenge. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And Shanika, what was one of your biggest challenges starting your ALF? Mhm.
Um, One of my biggest challenges, when I initiated going into the business, I was referred by another coworker of mine. She was a nurse as well, and she referred me to this agency, APD, Age for Persons with Disabilities. And she was like, you could start, they did group homes. So she was like, you can call, this lady and go into the orientation and everything, this and that. So I jumped on it right away, because this is something that I had in mind, like for the last 8 years. It was just a goal. So I jumped in, went to the orientation, completed everything. Um, Everything that I, what the furniture, fixed the house up, made it ADA accessible, the showers, everything. So I filled in my application and I turned it in. Okay, I was approved. I was licensed by APD. So now I'm a licensed APD facility. Okay. One whole year, the house stayed empty.
Yeah.
No referrals, and no referrals from the agency. Then I was told that I needed to contact the support coordinators. They're like case managers with APD. So then I was told, well, if you contact the support coordinators, um, that's like soliciting, and you can get your license removed, taken away for soliciting. And I'm like, so how do I, supposed to let people know that I'm open? Okay, then there was a one of the workers from APD. She said they have to come to my house quarterly, come to the house quarterly, make sure no one's living in there. They came to the house quarterly faithfully for a whole year. And I was contacting a referral representative with them, and she was saying, well, people have to want to come to your house, the area. We don't just force them to come. So they had a waiting list like over 200 people. And I called her so much. I kept emailing like every week and everything. I was like, well, this is strange. So she got her boss, the director of the program in the in the Northwest region is where I am. And she was like, stop calling. Of course, that person didn't look like me or you, but like, you can't keep calling. That's basically harassment and this and that. When someone wants to come there, we'll give them the referral. So I was like, okay, 1 year has passed by. I spent a lot of money out of pocket getting it, everything set up. And I didn't think it was right. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to cancel this APD license, and I'm going to go over to ACA. That's ACA. Yeah. I said,
my sister should know. She worked in there. So Mila put what ACA stand for. She worked for ACA.
Yeah, Agency of Healthcare. That's what it means. I'm getting a little confused with APD and ACA. But I went over to ACA. Okay, with ACA, you have to basically pay for every bed that you apply for. You have to pay for the license and everything. So I did. I invested and I paid for everything because I had the house set up. They came out within like the next month, did an inspection, and boom, like the next week, I had my license.
Awesome.
And then from there, they actually put me in the system on their website as one of their licensed facilities. So I was getting calls from everywhere. I like right now, I get calls like every day during the week, and I don't have nowhere to put them because the house is not but so big. So right now I'm just looking into expanding things. That's why I'm out doing traveling nursing, so I could make me some extra money, because I'm trying to be debt free. I'm trying to not accumulate loans and stuff like that. But yeah, that was my biggest obstacle getting started with people that they didn't value. I don't know if maybe because of my age, because of my skin color. I just don't know what it was, but it was more people that looked like me that was in the way. To be
honest. That's how it is sometimes.
That,
That's exactly how it is.
That was my biggest obstacle getting started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to move to Ms. Mina Johnson. I'm so glad you can join us. I know today was a busy day for you because she has her ground zero consulting class that she teaches until like 5:30 with entrepreneurs who are trying to get into the business. And just a little bit about Mina. I've known Mina for many years. We went to college together in Miami, FIU. I actually pledged Mina. Mina was one of my NEOs. She's a member of Delta Sigma Theta. I pledged Mina. And so she has an event center here in Fairburn, Georgia, which is like a suburb of Atlanta. She has an event center, and she also does her consulting. So Mina, just tell a little bit about your business and some of the challenges. I know when you first opened up, you had a lot of challenges with, like, Fulton County with the licenses. I remember all that. So I remember all of that. But Mina took a serious leap of faith. I know Mina had a great job, and she was like, I want to open my own business. I want to do this. And I've watched her grow over the years, and it's been so successful. Every event I've gone to at her facility has been very elegant, and it's been very put together. And she even did her own wedding. So, so isn't a lot of, she does great things. So Mina, take it away. Tell me some stuff about how you got started and what were some of your challenges.
Thank you, Jameelah, for having me on. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in my friend's basement. I had a retirement party today. It's just been a full day, so I am like all over the place. So it goes.
I'm gonna check right here. Say Daryl just talking about was I mean big sister. You can be honest.
In hindsight, it was a necessary process. In hindsight, but hopefully the phone holds. But thank you, Jameelah, for having me on here. If you can't hear me, just wave. I might have to move locations. But as Jameelah mentioned, I'm the owner of Elegant Occasions Event Center in Fairburn, Georgia, and I also am the owner of Ground Zero Business Consulting. I just got off of a class that we just had regarding nonprofits trying to transition business owners from having a for-profit business to a nonprofit. So that was a great session. But opening Elegant Occasions Event Center, as Jameelah mentioned, was a step of faith. There was a lot of challenges and drama that went on. I've been in business for 7 years as of this year, and it hasn't been without its challenges, but I'm using what I've learned as an event planner, as a business owner, to help other business owners. So that's where Ground Zero Business Consulting comes from. So all the trials and tribulations and the challenges that you all are talking about.
Oh, we lost her.
Yeah, but I have her link at the bottom right here going across. But Mina, I remember when she was first getting started, she was having a lot of problems getting permits and stuff with Fulton County, and she wanted to give up. I remember she really wanted. She was like, "This is not," like it was just so much for her. But I'm so glad that she persevered and kept her business going. Let me see, she's coming back. So yeah, she said she's at someone's house in the basement. So okay, so there you go. Mina.
Joni, before she starts again, I want to know who was worse out of you and Camila?
Doing what?
As big sisters.
We weren't on the same line. I was at the pledge somewhere else. So no, I wasn't a bad big sister. I was stern with them. Mila pledged somewhere else. Mila pledged.
She was bad. I'm sorry. I found the window kind of get in front of, but yeah, as I was saying, just using all my challenges and struggles and all that stuff that I've learned with owning Elegant Occasions Event Center, I use that to help new business owners kind of get their business together and try and help them overcome a lot of that stuff more easier. Because when I started, I didn't have any guidance or anything like that. I went to people, they wasn't really open and helping or anything. So just learning on my own. That's why I commend Jameelah for even doing this, for putting other female business owners together who have same stories and just I'm interested in helping other people. So that's kind of my little short version of what I do with my business, and it's just been a blessing to be a Black female business owner. This is more than I ever imagined doing. So I'm definitely interested in learning more about you ladies and helping in any way that I.
Yeah, and before you dropped off, Mina, I was telling everybody about the different challenges that I know you had, because I remember when she first got started, she was like, Fulton County, they really giving me problems with my permits and stuff. But I was just thankful that you kept going with it and you persevered and all that. And Christy, to answer your question, Camila said she was a nice big sister. And Ursilia, before we lose you, can you tell about some of your challenges and different things with starting your business?
Hi, everyone. As you can see, my number one challenge right now is technology. I have a certain provider in the Atlanta area, which is currently a monopoly, but I will be changing soon. However, some of the other challenges that I've faced include industry challenges, challenges with clientele, as well as balancing your daily life, right? So I'll start off with balancing the daily life. So I work in corporate America. I began my consulting business, Eden Enterprises LLC, a few years ago. where I provide supply chain consultation and administrative services to various industries, whether it be in the public or private sector. So balancing my corporate America role as well as my small business role can be very challenging as far as time management is concerned. The next challenge I would say I faced would be industry challenges. So, COVID, if it did nothing else, was show everyone how strains in supply chain can really put a halt on your business. So, within my business, I try to use raw and organic butters, vegetable based oils. I don't use synthetic fragrances that are made in chemistry labs. I try to use plant-based essential oils for scents. So with COVID, I had issues where plants were shut down. So there was no manufacturing going on. I couldn't get the raw materials or even the packaging, which is the containers that I place my products in. So that was a strain. Another strain with raw materials could be issues such as quality, right? Christy could probably tell you, you get a roll of fabric, one end of the fabric has one tone and the other end is completely lighter. And it's like, what do you do now? And you have to put your multi-purpose hat on and try to figure out how do you not lose profit in your business and try to make it work despite those types of raw material challenges. And finally, I will say, when I mention client challenges with my customers, first and foremost, educating my customers that everything we were taught was 99% wrong, right? So simple things such as, yes, you can buy a bar of soap from Dollar Tree for $1. You can get 3 in a pack. However, within the cosmetic industry, animal fat is a standard trend to place in cosmetic products. They don't even buy the animal fat at fair prices. They're getting it from the slaughterhouse. So whatever slop is left over, that fat is then in turn used in the soaps that you generally buy from big box stores. Mm-hmm. Then I have to educate my customers on the differences between the various oils, so forth and so on. Finally, you get customers where, well, let me make this phrase first before I explain that. All good money is not good money. There are some customers that you have to learn how to say no to. So that was a challenge I had to overcome, learning to say no. You have customers who will try to haggle you for your prices. And at the end of the day, as business owners, we have to stay competitive with the market, right? Mm-hmm. But we also have to be realistic based on the type of customers that we have. Right. One thing I tell a customer all the time, I will educate you on my product. I will educate you on the industry. However, if you choose not to follow instructions, that is not a customer service issue. So that's another way of educating customers to take responsibility for not following instructions, i.e., do not light your candles and leave them unattended. Do not leave your candles around children or pets, because if they bring it down, something else will catch on fire. But those are the main challenges that I face every day, running my business.
I'm laughing because I know of some of her personal challenges, so it's funny to me. Sorry. So that's why I was laughing. But, I think we've lost Mina again, and I just want to, thank you, ladies. I hope people were inspired by you today. And if there's any closing words anybody wants to give, to encourage people to continue on with their dreams, not just women, but men too, please feel free to just say it, and we can go from there. Anybody have any words of inspiration?
I would just encourage anyone to just don't let obstacles stand in your way, because you're going to encounter obstacles. I think that's one thing we all have said in common, that we face various obstacles. But one other thing that we have in common is that we didn't quit. And right. So we continue to push through and press forward until we reached our desired goals. So just never quit.
Yeah. I think you were going to say something, Shanika.
Yes, I was basically wanting to say the same thing that Lucretia is saying, like things get weary, and things will get very extremely challenging. But you have to do a lot of praying and asking God for a lot of strength, and you have to just keep pressing on. Um, don't let anyone make you think that what direction that you feel um, as a goal, dream, and a desire to make your reality turn you away or deter you from it, because people will do it. I mean, the most people that are closest to you, they will not believe in you, they will not have faith, and that will be the time that you will have to just lean and depend on God and just keep pressing towards the um also I help a lot of people, friends and people in the community that's interested and becoming ALF provider, care provider. I'm not a consultant, but I do give out free advice and information based on my experience. I do find it that a lot of people will not help you, and anybody that asks me and that's serious about moving forward, I am willing to give you as much knowledge and education that I have about what direction to go into. Jameelah has my email address at the bottom, New Mercies Care LLC at gmail.com. And whoever is interested, any questions, anything, you can email me and I will respond. And I also want to thank Jameelah for having me here on this platform today. I am very honored to be a part of this platform. And she's always been, me and her have a lot of similarities when it comes to not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
She is much is very much of a strong woman and strong friend.
Oh,
Whatever you doing, just keep striving and keep doing the best that you can, because you are successful, and I know where we come from, so I can and I appreciate everything that you have and have done in my life as well as a friend.
Amen.
Yes.
thank you.
Now,
Was somebody, were you going to say something?
now I'll just say, failure is not an option.
Mm-hmm.
We will all fail at something, right? I can give you an example for myself. When I started making my handmade soaps, I began with melt and pours, and then I had to go back and teach myself some basic knowledge on chemistry. And then it went from melt and pours to making it from scratch using raw materials. The first several batches were not good. And the feedback that I got, although my ego was a little bit hurt, it didn't matter because it helped me build my brand, right? And Jameelah can tell you, I'll say, Jameelah, try this. Tell me what you think. I want your honest opinion. And you have to be open minded to receive feedback, whether it's positive or negative. Failure only occurs when you give up. Understand this. You're always going to fail at something. You will always fail because we're not perfect. But failure happens when you give up and you do not try again. So, my advice to anyone who wants to start a business, do not stop trying. Do not stop trying. Second advice, get a mentor. This may not be a mentor that you meet with in person or even speak with on the phone. When you see people talk about influencers and followers on social media, do the same thing with your business. If someone else has a business similar to the one that you would like to have, use them as a model. Because do understand, when manufacturers build something, when they come up with an idea, they model it after something. They start off with a prototype. So when you don't know something, use someone else as an example. That's my advice.
Thank you.
I would say stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
Um, You're going to run into a lot of obstacles that are going to make you want to give up, but you have to stay focused. It doesn't matter if there's 50 other people in your field. Every one person is unique, and it's up to you to bring that uniqueness out. There's other designers that's in the same building as I am, but that doesn't stop me from doing what I'm doing because I know that God has given me my talent and it's up to me to push it out. So I would just say to just stay focused. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Like regardless of what, just keep pushing. Jameelah, I would like to thank you because this has totally taken me out of my comfort zone.
I know.
You guys know me, you and Eugene. We're gonna call you Miss Eugene. You guys know me from school. I was very talkative, but as I've gotten older, I'm very shy. So with me transitioning myself and walking into my purpose, my destiny, I know that it's gonna get uncomfortable.
Yes.
So I made it my business to be a part of this panel of amazing women today. And I just want to tell you thank you. Oh, Miss.
Yes, thank you. My mom says it's good to see you young ladies, and she watched most of you grow, so she knows a lot of you from when we were younger. So again, thank you ladies for being here. Like you said, you have to get comfortable. Oh, you're gonna say something, Cheryl?
Yes, I wanted to say this right quick, and I know your time is valuable. I would say if you have $1, just put that dollar towards your dream. That $1 will go a long way. So just take that $1, put it aside, save another dollar. You got your dream.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies. I have enjoyed each and every one of you. Jameelah, I've enjoyed you too. I've heard so much about you with your sister. So
yeah, it seems like I know you. It seems like
I know.
And I sit always in front of this thing that says, if you can dream it, you can do it. As a quote by Walt Disney, even though I have certain issues with Walt Disney, but I do like that quote. And I live by that because even though I'm 42, I still haven't given up on my dreams. So I'm still in that vein of I'm following my passion. I'm living my dream. And I'm so thankful to have you all on this show today. You all have also inspired me. And it's like when we look for people for inspiration, we don't have to look too far. All of these ladies were in my reach, and I'm seeing them doing great things. So we're all doing great things in our respective fields. And I think we should be celebrated. So again, I just want to say thank you all for being here. I'm so proud of you. And I just feel blessed. What are you going to say, something?
I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in on that encouragement part. Because encouragement is just so important to everybody. But we as women, it's really important for us to be strong for each other and be encouragement. I just want to say, just do it. Don't wait for permission. Be the manager of your own life and path, and seek and trust God to give you the guidance that you need. He's the one that gave you the gift in the first place. So he's already made the plan for everything for you to do. You just gotta, pray and make sure you stay in alignment with that path. So that way the more alignment you're in with that path, the more confidence is built within yourself.
Yes. And I wish I had those words of encouragement and that confidence in myself when I was younger. Because I feel like I'm playing catch up, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to get to the destination that I want. And just like with this platform here, I decided to do this because I wanted to make a way for myself. I'm not going to wait for one of these major networks to make a way for me and say, okay, you're going to get Oprah's old show, or you're going to get it. I'm going to make my own way. So
make your
own path. So again, thank you, ladies. This has been a pleasure, and I have learned a lot, and I hope people viewing it, you all learned a lot. Of any information you want to know about any of these ladies, I have all of their links in the description for this video, so you can be able to contact them. Information is listed. So again, thank you, and everybody have a good afternoon.
Thank you,
Thank you for the invite.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.